Welcome in, Irish football fans. This is Irish Breakdown. I am Shaun Davis, recruiting analyst at Irish Breakdown, and we have a special guest with us this evening, the first commit of the 2024 recruiting class for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish out of West Bloomfield, Michigan, West Bloomfield High School. Defensive end, tight end, outside linebacker, athlete, can do it all, whatever you want to call him. Brandon Davis-Swain, welcome to the Irish Breakdown. How you doing this evening?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Man, thank you for joining us. Super excited. I think your commitment over the blue and gold weekend was one of the most shocking things that happened, but it was one of the best stories of the weekend, and we'll get to that. But I just want to talk about growing up in West Bloomfield. You've been very transparent and open recently about, how you watch Notre Dame games on NBC. You have guys like Adi Ogundeji, Khalid Kareem coming from the same county, the same area, and you see them having success. You have a Matthew Judon who went on to have success in the NFL coming from the same area. So just talk about the tradition of football in that area for people that might not know and how that played into you wanting to play the game and eventually leading you to commit to Notre Dame.
I've been playing football since I was 9 years old. I grew up in Detroit. Then I moved out, lived with my dad to West Bloomfield. Then I started playing there my freshman year. We won the state championship. Then my sophomore season, I did good. Had 18 sacks. Um, yeah. Uh, Hoping we can win it this year. Try to break this sack record or the state sack record this year too, or this
So
upcoming season.
what's the state sack record that you're going to be chasing after? And then what are you doing in the off season to make yourself a better player to go after that?
The state sack record is 24. I've been working out every day, almost every day, getting my hands better, speed, agility, and just strength conditioning.
So are you getting those reps up? I saw you were pushing 225 10 times. Have you increased upon that from the last time you hit the 225?
Yeah. Yes. I haven't did it in a minute, but yes, I have.
Yo, that's just making my chest hurt here. 225 10 times. Once
Yeah.
again, Irish Breakdown special guest, Brandon Davis-Swain. So let's talk about it. What was it like coming in into high school and stepping into a program like West Bloomfield, getting snaps and winning the championship at a program like that as a freshman? Did that add pressure to you and the rest of the guys that are just coming to that program to want to, you know, at least win two or three more before you end up leaving going to college?
Yes. It wasn't pressure, but it was a little bit of pressure there because we just came off winning it and we were supposed to win it again, but unfortunately we didn't. But this year we will. Um, it's just we got to put in some more work as a team.
I said you guys lost in the regionals last year, right? So how
We
tough was that for
lost.
you to come back from that?
It was tough. We lost 14-13. Lost by one
Yeah, one
point.
point loss. Yeah,
Yeah, it was a tough loss.
I can still, it still eats away at you. I can see it still eats
Yeah.
away at you. So now, what's the motivation for the team? Because one of the things you said, and I don't want to get to your commitment quite yet, but I know one of the things you said about your commitment is that you did not want to be a distraction to your team and the goal of winning another state championship, and that it just really showed how much of a team player you are. It's rare that you hear someone say that at a young age, but for you, that is really the motivation. Like right now at this point, making sure that you get the very best out of yourself for your team.
Yeah. I'm really a team player kind of guy. I want to see everybody on my team win, see my players get scholarships to schools, just seeing them grow up as a developable player, like coming from JV to varsity, seeing them do that and seeing them put the work in to get on varsity.
So you grew up in Detroit, you go out to West Bloomfield, and you live with your dad. So just talk about that, making that move, living with your dad, the relationship, how special it is. Just describe to Irish fans what it is about that relationship with your dad that makes it so special.
Um, I, like I said, I lived in Detroit, then I moved. First, I moved in with my mother in Sterling Heights, and then I went to Davis Junior High over there. Then I moved with my dad. Me and my mom talked about it, and the first time I came over there, I was excited. Me and my dad. The first time I went over there, we went out to eat, and then we talked about it, and then I was really gonna go to Belleville or Catholic Central, and then I talked to Coach Bell that's at Michigan right now, and then they brought me into West Bloomfield.
Take me back to your very first snap in high school. What was that like? You got your first
Um,
snap ever at West Bloomfield.
I was nervous. I was nervous a little bit, but after that first play, I was fine. I was fine after that. I always get nervous the first play. I don't know,
Yeah.
something that
Did you,
always just happens.
so your relationship with Khalid Kareem goes back even further than, how far does it go back? Just how did that relationship start?
I met him at up at West Bloomfield, getting some work in at the field, and he came up there, said what up to him, and then I saw him at the spring game, and we took another picture at the spring game.
So what is it? I can relate to that because I grew up in Chicago and just seeing, it was a different sport for me. It was baseball, but I still had, Jackie Robinson West, which is a baseball factory. You had schools like Simeon and Morgan Park that produced D1 prospects and also produced players that went to Major League Baseball. So seeing these guys come before you and they get drafted in the third round or they get drafted in the second round by a major league team, it gives you a belief like, yo, I can do that too. And like seeing the guys we talked about earlier, Matthew Judon, Adi Ogundeji, Khalid Kareem, and you see those guys matriculating to college and even into the pros, how much confidence does that give you and other people from that area and that county to say, we can be successful at this game too?
It gives me a lot of confidence because I know, like, seeing them make it, I mean, I can make it too. I just gotta put put more work in so I can get to that level.
And talking about getting to that level, you left the blue and gold game and went up to rivals, and you just decided to show out, huh, bro? It just wasn't good enough to commit to Notre Dame. You just wanted to go ahead and add the cherry on top of everything for the weekend and just show out. Nobody could block you. You come away with the
Yeah.
gold ball. Talk about that experience and how you felt, going back home after that great weekend.
I felt good coming into the rivals camp. I didn't lose a rep there.
Right.
It was fun going through every drill, working out, coming back home. It was more exciting because I got to see my family. Everybody was telling me congratulations. Um, everybody was telling me congratulations. Um, and then Monday came. Then I started working out again, doing my regular stuff. Nothing stops for real. I'm always on the grind, to be
So
honest.
give me a snippet of the off season daily routine for Brandon
Okay.
Davis-Swain.
So I wake up at like 5 o'clock, 5:30. Um, get dressed, brush my teeth, go to school. Get out of school at 2:03. Got workouts at 2:30. Ends at 4. Then I go to tutoring there too. Tutor ends at like 8, 9ish. Get home, do some more homework if I have to. Get in the shower to do it again.
Okay.
So I get home at like 10, 10:30.
It never stops. So I was watching your film from the Rivals camp. How in the world, as a 16-year-old, do you have such great hands and counter moves already the way you do? I'm watching the moves you use. You use a spin move to the outside. Then you
Mhm.
pull, you hit, and you grab the offensive lineman on another rep and get past him to the inside. And then the next rep, you're just going around the corner with your speed. Like the diversity in your pass rush, how did you get that? Who helped you develop that? And it just, what's the next step?
My freshman year, I didn't have no sacks. I was close, but I couldn't finish.
Mm-hmm.
Then my sophomore season, I started working with my hands. Coach Ivy, my D line coach at West Bloomfield, really got me there. Then I
Yeah.
learned how to spent, and then my sophomore season, I had 18 sacks. Just working on my hands, my speed. Um, my favorite move is a spin. I don't know.
Now you do it different, right? Because you remember Vince Carter did the reverse 360, and that's what made him popular, right? For you, a lot of guys like to spin to the inside, making it look like they're going to go to the outside rush and then spin back inside. You go inside and then spin back to the outside and get around guys. It takes some
Yeah,
special talent to perfect that type of move.
yeah, yeah. I always like to when I get up or I get on my start. I always like to go to the outside a little bit, then stab
Hmm.
inside, and then I spin.
Okay. So it's like a three part to the outside, stab to the inside, and then set them up for the spin.
Yeah,
So for
yeah,
you, it's slow motion. That sounds like a lot, right? But for you, it's like
yeah,
slow motion, but it happens so quick for the offensive tackle that he really doesn't have time to adjust.
yeah. And you gotta make sure you put your hands on them first before you spin, so you can give them like some type of aggression if there, so they can
Yeah.
put their hands out, and then you knock them down. Just spin.
Yeah. Once again, the first commit of the 2024 class, Brandon Davis-Swain, joins us on the Irish Breakdown. I'm Shaun Davis. Before we let you go, let's go ahead and talk about what it was like to arrive on campus. 298 former Notre Dame players in the building representing the legacy and the tradition of Notre Dame. You had recruits from the class of 2023. You had commits, people that are still thinking about coming to Notre Dame. And then you had the 2024 class. What's the first thing you did when you arrived at campus with your father?
Me and my dad, we first got in there. We came a little bit too early. Then we
Okay.
saw the campus. We saw the campus a little bit, and then we went and got breakfast. Then we came back.
Did you go to any other places? I can tell you now, you and your dad, anytime you're in South Bend, you have to make sure you check out Frankie's, okay? Good
Frankies.
barbecue, good tips. It'll hit the spot. Make sure you hit up Frankie's anytime you go to South Bend.
Okay, Frankies.
You got to remember Frankie's. Absolutely.
Frankies.
So you get on campus. Did you speak to any of the former players and have a conversation with them?
I spoke to some of the 23 commits that was there. They was
Okay.
telling me how they liked the campus, and all that good stuff.
What's your favorite part of the campus? You said you and your dad went around campus. What's the favorite area of the campus? Most people, I mean, I talked to one guy and he told me, like, man, Touchdown Jesus is like amazing when you actually see it. You see it on TV, but to see it up close is really dope. What was your favorite part of the Notre Dame campus?
Touchdown, what you just said. Touchdown,
Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah, seeing
Yeah,
it up close.
yeah.
So the moment everybody wants to know about, it's been widely reported. So I'm sure it's nothing that's going to be new to Irish fans. But just take us inside the moment leading up to when you were getting ready to let Coach Al Washington know that you had made the decision to go ahead and commit to the Notre Dame, University of Notre Dame. What was racing through your mind as you were getting ready to tell him that?
Um, I first I talked to my dad about it, and he was like, "What do you feel in your gut?" And I
Mm.
said that I feel that I should commit there. And then Coach Washington came back, and then I told him, and then he was super excited, and everybody was super excited and running around.
It's really cool. And unfortunately, a lot of young men don't have the opportunity to have a father right there on their journey to progress, grow, and then get to the point to make a decision like that. So to be able to have your dad a part of that decision and to have your back and ask you what you're feeling in your gut, you know, looking back on it, just how special was that for you?
Um, it's very special seeing my dad there cry and telling my whole family that I committed there. It was very exciting for me and for my family too.
You know what that is? As a father, I can probably speak to what that was for that moment and what the tears really meant. It was bigger than just the moment. It
Yeah.
was thinking about the day you arrived, thinking about you being with him and living with him and taking you to all the practices and all the workouts and everything that went into it. It was just joy for him to be able to
Mhm.
look and say, yo, this is, as a parent, this is what we all live for our children to have an opportunity to do more than we did. So, just reading the story is one thing, but actually to look in your face and hear you talk about it as a parent, it just almost wells me up as well to say, yo, that's why we do it as parents.
Yeah.
And one day I'm sure you're going to have an opportunity years down the line, to have a family and experience what it's like to see that opportunity for your child as well. So I love the story, love the way it happened. Coach Washington was overjoyed. And, what did Marcus Freeman say to you after you told Coach Washington? Did you get an opportunity to talk to Coach Freeman?
Yeah, I spoke to Coach Freeman a little bit later because we went out to lunch, and then he
Okay.
told me when I see him, he was excited too. He told me congratulations, keep putting the work in, and he can't wait to coach me.
All right. Now, I don't know if you know, but it might be a little pressure on you as the first commit. The class of 24, your area, there's some guys, Jacob Olden, CJ Carr, from the same class that are looking to
Mhm.
come to Notre Dame. Like, do you feel accountability or some sense of responsibility to take the reins of the class and kind of be the heartbeat of that class, being the first commit, and to start recruiting some of those guys that you might even play against this upcoming season?
Yeah. When I committed, I reached out to my boy CJ Carr and told him that he should come and talk to him a little bit there. And I told him when he decides to come out to Notre Dame, let me know so I can come with him.
Man, that's outstanding. What is it going to be like, the competition, as I get ready to let you go? As you go for another state championship, as I said before, you have CJ Carr, Saline, you have Jacob Olden, and Dante Moore is still there. It's just a ton of talent, right? Jay Underwood, all the talent in the state of Michigan. What is it going to be like to go and win a championship? What is it going to take for you and your team?
Um, we just gotta come in for be prepared. No plan, none of that stuff. Be focused. Play as a team. Keep everybody up when somebody do something wrong, do something bad. Give them confidence.
Well, much success to you. As I tell all young men, stay blessed, stay healthy, keep grinding, man, and much success to you in the future.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Irish fans, once again, 2024 commit to the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, Brandon Davis-Swain, right here on the Irish Breakdown. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and don't forget, most of all, share. Hit the share button and hit that like button. Let people know the Irish Breakdown has the best coverage of Notre Dame football and Notre Dame recruiting. For Brandon Davis-Swain, I'm Shaun Davis at SD2 Mics. We'll see you next time on another edition of the Irish Breakdown.